And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We got about 50 minutes left here this morning. But what I wanted to tell you, Joe Scarborough's making his announcement. He is no longer a Republican. Minka's looking over like, oh, you wait till I get you home, big boy, and you wait, right? So Joe's like, oh, it's working out for me not being a Republican. Minka's all excited about that. About a year from now, Joe's going to say, but Minka, I told you I'm not a Republican anymore. That used to work because I'm not interested. All right, let's go to the DNC, the DNRC, okay, just for a minute. Because I think what we need to do is we need to go backward just a little bit because the DNRC, the National Democrat Restructuring Committee, and who is leading the way on that for Barack Obama? Okay, Eric Holder. Put up Eric Holder first. Okay, there's Eric Holder. Eric Holder is a former Attorney General, should be in jail. He should not have the time. Eric Holder should not have the time to be going around the country putting legal lawsuits. Now, let me tell you this. There's a reason why. Okay, there's a reason why I think Secretary of State of Georgia is a very big position right now. Very big position because there's going to be lawsuits. All right, lawsuits like you would not believe brought on every state for what? Gerrymandering. Okay, but here's Eric Holder, former Attorney General, that is leading the way with the DNRC. Go ahead and put that back up. Eric Holder should be in jail. Should be in Guantanamo Bay. All right, seriously, for treason. Oh my God, where did I just hear that? All right, so Eric Holder, I know the rest of the media is focusing on the new FBI director that is his hearings. The rest of the media is focusing on that, and he said he would not uphold Donald Trump. He would if he broke the law. All right, yeah. I'd rather go with this just for a minute. Now, Eric Holder is going to he's got a team all across the United States, lawyers everywhere, going to bring lawsuits like you would not believe concerning National Democrat Redistricting Committee. So, Obama returns to the political spotlight. Put Obama's picture up there for a minute there. Obama returns to the political spotlight with a speech on gerrymandering. Folks, Obama moved. We haven't talked about the shadow White House a mile down the street in a long time. Valerie Jarrett, Obama, Eric Holder, the team. Okay, the team. All right, Susan Rice, all of them, the team. So Obama is down the road there, and he's staged himself because you don't want to go too early. You don't want to be too early, okay? And he has set up his timing. 2018's around the corner. They're setting up their timing. Obama returns to political spotlight with a speech on gerrymandering. Now, maybe I better go into this. Don't feel upset if you don't know what it is. Gerrymandering. What is gerrymandering? You hear it all the time. In the process of setting electoral districts, gerrymandering is a practice intended to establish a political advantage for a particular party or group by manipulating district boundaries. The resulting district is known as gerrymandering, okay? However, the word can also refer to the process. Gerrymandering, district boundaries, okay, intending to establish political advantage for political parties or groups. Just Google Texas gerrymandering and what's going on in Texas right now. There was gerrymandering was brought up. They said they wrote the boundaries for the 6th district for Karen Handel and Ossoff's race, so to make sure Georgia's 6th district was Republican. They wrote the boundaries in a way to keep it Republican. So this is big. This is big enough for Obama. This is big enough for them to create the Democrat National Redistricting Committee. This is big enough to put Eric Holder in charge. And this is big enough for Obama to give a speech. Obama returns to political spotlight with speech on gerrymandering. After 6 months from vacationing at some of the most lavish resorts on earth, including Richard Branson's own private island in the British Virgin Isles, Obama, as it was foretold by Eric Holder, remember? So we did this story. As it was foretold by Eric Holder many months ago, is apparently ready to make his valid return to the political spotlight. His return will come on the form of a speech to be delivered on behalf. He's given a speech on behalf, okay, of the National Democrat Redistricting, put that up, National Democrat Redistricting Committee, and leave that up there, the NDRC, which just happens to be chaired by Eric Holder, okay? This comes from the Washington Post. Obama's appearance Thursday, today, folks, today in Washington, D.C., the shadow government that's trying to take down your president, Obama's appearance Thursday before a few dozen people at a closed-door event in the district on behalf of the National Democrat Redistricting Committee highlights the balance he is trying to strike as his party seeks to regain its footing at both the state and national level. Obama does not want to cast a long shadow just a mile down the road, in the words of Democrat National Committee Chairman Tom Perez. But he remains a central figure of the party that has yet to settle on a single strategy to combat President Trump. They have a strategy, the obstruction, because tomorrow's president is today's state senator, and he knows that very personally. Don't forget, this guy was a state senator in Illinois. The states, oh, they're broke. He was there. That's right. He was a state senator in Illinois, then became a U.S. senator, and then he became president. Because tomorrow's president is today's state senator, and he knows that very personally. When you lose 900 state legislative seats, those are people who could have been the next governors, senators, and cabinet positions, and that is something that he's very committed to. Pay attention to the words from the Washington Post. After overseeing the loss of 1,000 Democrat legislative seats during his presidency, it's no wonder that Obama feels some obligation to help Democrats regain an edge by any means necessary. And that was per Fox News. Obama wants to regain an edge. Obama doesn't feel they lost all these seats. They're not going to change and reach out to the center of America. They're not going to reach out to the rural areas of America. They're not going to. They're going to come up with different plans to take back all they can. But the national redistricting is one of the big things, gerrymandering with lawsuits, okay? So I just wanted to bring that up. Let me go here. Don't take that down yet. Let me just go to, I've pulled up their website. And you can look it up at any time. This is one that everybody needs to be concerned about. Eric Holder, the NDRC, the National Democrat Redistricting Committee. National Democrat Redistricting Committee, the most important turning point for the future of Democrat Party will take place in 2021. You see, why are we doing this now? Why is Obama giving the speech now? Why? Why now? Because you're getting ready to get another census in America. Your 10-year census, okay? And the Democrat Party will take place in 2021 when states redraw their congressional and state legislative lines. So what's that mean to you? Now, I'm going to call it the 14th, okay? I hope I'm right. I really am. I hope I'm right. But it's... You'll understand where I'm at. In the state of Georgia, after the last, in the state of Georgia, okay, we had to redistrict the state because of the size, and we had to split the state up, and we went from the 9th district to adding a legislative district based on population. Okay, when they do the census, they will have a demographic. They'll have a demographic of your nationality, ethnic groups, whatever. Men, women, kids. They'll have a demographic that they can work with. And in 2021, when states redraw congressional and state legislative lines, so your states will change. Okay. That's why realistically you need to make sure your Republicans that are voted in there in your state and in your government, U.S. representatives, senators, your president, your state senators, local legislative people, districts need to do things now, because after 2020 and there's a redistricting, they're going to start carving up some of these areas. There's going to be some major political fights. Okay. Democrats might have lost the White House, but Democrats are always prepared for the big picture, to the total destruction of this country. They know the big picture, and they're not going to stop there. They don't let a year or two get in the way of them. So when states redraw their congressional and state legislative lines, chaired by former Attorney General Eric Holder, the NDRC is building a targeted state-by-state strategy that ensures Democrats can fight back and produce fairer maps in the 2021 redistricting process. There you go. All right. Let's move out of that, the speeches today. Let's go into just a real quick one here, the OFA. What is the OFA? I want you just to pay attention to this. This is just a refresher course, because if we're going to do the DNRC, don't forget, let's talk about the OFA. Organizing for Action. We're getting ready to go into the 2018. Organizing for Action is a nonprofit 501c organization and community organizing project that advocates for the agenda of former U.S. President Barack Obama. The organization is officially nonpartisan, but its agenda and policies are strongly allied with the Democrat Party. It is the successor of Obama's 2012 re-election campaign and Organizing for America, which itself succeeded Obama's 2008 campaign. Now, you got to pay attention to these two things. Go to www.ofa. Your voice can change the room. All right. OFA is committed to mobilizing and training the next generation of progressive organizations and leaders, because real lasting change doesn't happen on its own. All right. They are connected to George Soros. They're connected to what is that public policy foundation that Soros has? But anyhow, totally connected to Podesta, Soros, the whole works. Okay, totally connected to it. The voice can change a room. That's the OFA. So those two things. Obama's given a speech. Now, while everybody's on, I know what you're saying. Well, wait a minute. We got the FBI director, and we've got Trump over in Paris with Macron, and they're going to talk about the Paris Climate Accord, and we have all these things going on. Why are you talking about this? You better figure out what's behind the scene that you better stay aware of. That's just all there is to it. I'm your host, BKP. I'm going to take another break so I can set up another segment. That's a different segment there, Sam. And we will come back, recap a couple things, and then end with a little note from Blue Ridge, okay?